not a game, it's a rich thing.
Real quick, let's jump into the reasons why. What are some benefits of lease options to homeowners? Unless anybody's got a question. Does anybody have a question we should handle first instead of this? I don't mean to run over your needs. This is what you're here for. If you need something, you speak up because I'll stop this right away and we'll help you. Okay. So right here we've got a blank sheet of paper, and I want to start writing down the benefits to the homeowner for doing lease options. Now, this is important because one, it's going to be hard for you to sell the idea of a lease option to somebody if you don't really know how it might benefit them. Agreed?
Yep.
Okay. So also, if they're asking questions about how stuff works, it might be difficult for you to answer if you don't understand how this benefits them. So what do we end up doing when they ask us how this works? Well, you might be copying me, which I would recommend. Okay, you can copy some of the words that I've said, and there's a video I put out recently called The 7 Pitfalls in the Conversation. All right, so you can copy me kind of word for word from that. I'm doing in the call labs on Tuesdays kind of word for word study through the conversation. So you can just replace your words with my words, but sometimes that's not good enough and you need to know more. And also, if you don't know the right answer, what's default mode? Somebody tell me, what's default mode?
Nope.
No, that's a default mode for the homeowner when they don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? Is no. But what's default mode for the caller, you and me, the investor caller, when we don't necessarily know what the benefits are to the homeowner and they're asking us how this works? What's our default mode? Who do we like to talk about? What do we like to talk about in default mode? Anybody got an idea? I've heard it a million times, and here's what it sounds like. Yeah, Mr. Homeowner, you see, this is what we do. We work with what we call them tenant buyers, but they're folks that have a little ding on their credit. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, default mode for explaining to homeowners usually ends up somewhere in the vector of the universe of talking about your tenant buyer and your relationship with them and what you plan on doing with them and how they're going to be good for this homeowner and blah, blah. Okay, that is conversation destruction. Destruction. All right, you're never, ever going to get a deal doing that, probably. All right, so instead of talking about the tenant buyer, you should be geared towards talking with the homeowner about what's good for the homeowner. Right? Everybody has that mentality with them. What is it? WIIFM radio. With them. What's in it for me? That's their mentality. So when you start talking about tenant buyers, they zone out. And then the answer is ultimately no. So what are the benefits to the homeowner? Let's go through them real quickly. There's quite a few. So let's just start naming them off. Anybody know one that they want to, if you think you know one, just holler it out and we'll start building a list.
No price haggling.
No price haggling. Right. Meaning I can offer you full price, right? Or maybe full value, or maybe just slightly above. So, yeah, I don't have to beat you up on price, Mr. Homeowner. If I didn't beat you up on price, okay, I'm sorry, who did I interrupt?
Nothing. I'm sorry, I was saying relief of mortgage.
Okay, let's go to number 2. Okay, relief of a mortgage payment. Okay, this may be very important, or it possibly could be less important depending on the situation with the homeowner, but definitely a benefit to the homeowner here. Okay, what's another one?
Won't have to pay realtor commission.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. No realtor's fees. What's another one?
We take the house in an as-is condition.
Oh, I like it. No buyer concessions,
Yeah.
right? Okay, great. What's another one? I know
And
it gets harder as we go through it, right? Because
And still get their full asking price.
okay, that'll be number one.
Hands-free maintenance.
Let's include that in number one.
What about a monthly cash flow?
What'd you say, Muhammad? I'm sorry.
Hands-free maintenance.
No maintenance because the tenant buyer will do this, right?
Yep.
Okay. And what was that, Corey?
Yeah, I was saying like, what about a monthly interest cash flow? Monthly interest on the cash flow.
Could be a monthly cash flow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's possible too. Absolutely. If you're renting the property to the tenant buyer, they're paying the landlord, the owner of the property, more than the mortgage payment was, then they're actually making a little money, aren't they? Yeah. So that's possible. Okay, so we've got 6 here. I need a few more.
Principal paid out.
It's saving you a lot of money by not having to advertise the property and selling it yourself.
Principal pay down. Wow. I don't know who said that because I missed it, but who said that?
Ed,
Ed?
yes, sir.
Dude, that was good. What do you mean when you say principal pay down?
paying down your loan.
Yeah. Yeah. Paying down the loan.
Yep.
So during the term of the lease option, while the tenant buyer is making the payment, the mortgage payment is being paid and the mortgage balance is going down, which
Right.
does what?
Lowers the payout at the end of the term.
Creates more equity. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Creates more equity. Yeah. So great answer. Somebody else, or maybe it was Ed again, I'm not sure, said stop marketing costs. Right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Okay. Because they don't have to, if they're going to do a deal with you, they don't got to continue.
Don't have to
Paying-
advertise it.
Yeah. Paying for whatever they're paying for or doing whatever they're doing. And sometimes it's not the money as much as it is the hassle. Okay. All right. What's another one?
You'll have, oh, go ahead.
What was that? What did he say?
He said, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Laurie. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Still have the tax benefits.
Okay. All right.
Till you sell it.
What are those tax benefits?
Appreciation.
The tenant buyer will benefit from the appreciation, and we'll get to the tenant buyer in a different list.
I don't know what the
Retain all tax benefits. What tax benefits are the sellers going to retain?
Depreciation.
Appreciation.
Depreciation.
I'm sorry, you say appreciation? Somebody
No,
said that?
depreciation, like, because.
Okay. Property tax deductions,
Yeah.
right? Okay. What about mortgage interest deductions? What about that? Well, what was that one you just said too? There's another one somebody just said. What was it? Depreciation.
Depreciation, yes.
Depreciation. Okay. That's a possibility. Okay. Any other things?
well, it'll work if the homeowner has little or no equity in their property.
Okay. That's like number 10. Okay. So let me add this to number 9 before we move on to that, Sandra.
Okay.
And that is tax deferment. Deferment how do you spell? I feel like there's too many letters. Tax deferment. What do I mean by tax deferment? Anybody know? Anybody want to speculate, a guess, or no?
1031.
Okay, that is a tax deferment, but that's a little different than what I had anticipated. I was talking about something else in my mind. But
Okay.
you're right. That is another type of investor-based tax deferment. If you got a Roth IRA, okay, that's tax deferment.
Mm-hmm.
If your Roth IRA is buying and flipping real estate, that's tax deferment on profits. Okay, so there's tax deferment, but the lease option in particular offers special tax deferment in that the seller does not have to pay any income taxes on the sale of the property because it hasn't sold yet.
Mm.
Okay. Also, he does not have to pay any income taxes on rental profits that he may make monthly until after the sale of the house. After the sale of the house, now he has to give an account to the IRS for all of the profits he made through the sale and the rental of that property. Tax deferred.
Okay.
Okay, so not tax evasion, but tax deferment. Okay, so this may also be helpful. Rarely does it come up, but it's true. Was that Gulia? I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you repeat that, please? Thank you.
Yeah, about retaining the tax benefits and tax deferment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
All right. Tax deferment in a lease option, the homeowner retains the tax deferment rights, which means he does not have to pay, the homeowner will not have to pay income taxes on the profits from the sale of the home until the sale closes. Okay, which might be 2-3 years from now in a lease option. All right, so he's not obligated to pay any income taxes on the deal until after it closes. That also includes the rental income he may make. It is also tax deferred until after the close of the sale. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
it might be 2 or 3 years from now, or 5 or 10, depending on how long you got your lease option set up. Now, does anyone want to gander guess here at what is the reason why they are tax deferred? There's a contractual reason why the seller does not have to pay any income taxes on the rental income or the sale of the house until after the sale is done and they buy the house. The tenant buyer buys the house. Okay. Why is it tax deferred? Can anybody explain to me? There's a contractual idea here that supports this.
Because it's an unilateral contract. So just the buyer have the option to exercise the contract, not the seller.
Well, that's a good point. The short answer, I would say it like this, is it is a lease with a option, or it's a lease with a purchase agreement, depending on how you go about it. In this type of strategy, it's either a lease option or a lease purchase. And so it's not a lease by itself. It's not a option agreement by itself. It's a lease option transaction. So everything gets postponed until the end of the lease, tax-wise. If they exercise their right, then they get to pay the taxes, right? If they don't exercise the right and they move out, then the homeowner may be responsible at that time for whatever rental income he may have made during that period. But it all gets postponed until the very end of the term, whatever it is, tax deferred, because it's a lease option. Yeah. That also goes along with, I'm going to put Sandra's here at 11, but the seller will stay on the deed. So that's all kind of part of 9 and 10. Okay, they stay on the deed, which gives them the right to the tax benefits, in other words. Okay. All right, number 11. What was that, Sandra?
It
Sandra said
works
something.
whether there's little or no, it works whether there's little or no equity in the property.
Yeah. Little or no equity. That's facts. Facts. She's spitting the truth. All right. What's another one?
Better quality tenants.
Okay. Better quality tenants. I like that one too. Man, we are really, really hitting this out of the park. Better quality tenant. Okay. Anything else we can think of?
With Larry's, you can also, I don't know, you could be, longer than normal lease period.
Yeah. Right. More lengthy lease period.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Look at all these benefits. What's another one we might have? This one's a sneaky one. This was hard.
I feel like it gets somebody in the property quicker rather than having to wait months.
That's so true. I'm going to write that down as 15. Okay. But let's talk about 15 in a minute. I put 14 here. It may help the seller qualify for a new home loan. What do I mean? Someone explain it to me. How can a lease option help a seller actually qualify for the loan on their next home? Because we hear that all the time, don't we? Well, I got to sell this one. No, see, I got to sell this one outright because I need the money to be able to go buy my next house. It's contingent on me being able to sell this one, is me being able to get the loan to do my next one. How many of you have heard that from a homeowner before?
Lots of time, yeah.
More than a couple, right? Actually, it may help the seller qualify for a new home loan. Can anyone explain to me why?
Because they have rental.
Because
income.
having a rental property is gonna help them as an additional income.
Absolutely. Mateo said because owning a rental property may increase their income.
That's cool.
Which changes the dynamic on their home loan lender, right? When you make more money, maybe you can borrow money easier now. Okay. So when they say that, it's just coming from a place of I'm probably uneducated on this topic, and I assume that I have to sell this house in order to buy a new one. Okay. A lot of times I'll just ask the question when the homeowner says that. I'll just ask the homeowner, I'll say, Mr. Homeowner, have you talked with your home loan lender about that? And is that what he tells you? Because a lot of times these rental properties, like turning this into a rental for a little while, it may actually increase your income and help you actually get the loan. Is that something you feel like you might want to talk to him about? Okay, just to put a little seed in his ear. Okay. I'm probably not going to close that guy today, but I might close him next week if he talks to his home loan lender. Okay. Faster. Is this actually faster? Well, if you're talking to me, it is.
Yeah.
I hope you understand what I mean when I said that. Like, hell, I don't really know if it's faster or not, but if you're talking to me, it is. Yep, it's fast, real fast. Yeah, cut the light switch off and get into bed before the light went out. That's how fast. All right, anything else we can think of? All right.
We can do this with the assumable and non-assumable, right?
You can do this with any type of loan, really.
Right.
Any.
Because sometimes they'll
loan
say that.
type.
They'll say, I have a non-assumable, so I can't do that. But it doesn't matter, right? So.
Nope, it'll all work.